I told the team this is not just a reflection of today that we played well today, but I think we earned the opportunity to play that well today by how much we improved this year and how much we committed to playing for each other and being coachable and being competitive and wanting to have for Marissa a great senior year and for everybody. So it feels really good. I mean, I don't know that if you play that game again from a Toledo's a good team, but I thought we were really prepared and we got off to a great start. Marissa made some baskets early, and I thought that really kind of got us playing with confidence and probably acted to keep them from maybe being as confident and in a situation where there's a little bit more pressure than you're used to, getting off to a great start was important. But I thought we played well throughout the game. I mean, Sydney made big plays there in that third quarter when they came out and scored the first 3 baskets, and the lead went from 22 to 16. So couldn't be more excited about the way we played. But like I said, it's a reflection of where we are, the work we've put in to be the basketball team that we are, and we are super excited for the opportunity that we're going to have on Sunday against a really good Oregon State team in front of what I would expect to be a really good crowd.
Thank you very much. Questions for Marissa and Sydney? Please raise your hand and state your name and media affiliation on first request. The last one's the mic gets there.
Hey Marissa, Andy Peterson from Associated Press. What was going on with you in the first 6 minutes? What happened?
I think it's just because for me, like, my college career would be done if we lose. And so it's like having that mindset, like, you don't want it to be over yet. And I mean, we said right away, like, we got to do whatever it takes. And I came out and I wasn't going to let myself not be aggressive and shy away from shots. And I think that was important for me. And then, I mean, my teammates around me, they got me the ball and they set really good screens, and we were clicking, so it just worked out.
Jonathan with the Omaha World Journal, what were those conversations like, in the timeouts in that first quarter, where you guys just all just feeding off the shots and the lead you guys had?
Yeah, I think so. And then we were talking defensively and just like getting stops on our end and just to keep moving the ball on offense, like we started off with.
Next question for our student athletes.
Sydney, obviously they're a pretty good three-point shooting team, decent three-point shooting team. They had the first three-pointer until the fourth quarter. What were you guys doing just to kind of slow them down from beyond the arc?
I mean, we talked about that they're just an overall good team. They're good at three-point shooting. They're good at posting up, and they're good at driving. So, I mean, there was a lot for us to focus on. I think it was to our advantage that they didn't make one till the fourth quarter. But, I mean, yeah, I think it was just lucky that they weren't hitting their shots right away.
For either of you guys, do you know anything about Oregon State? If so, what do you know? What have you seen?
I actually played them when we were in Vegas my sophomore year. I don't really remember much about them. I remember Sydney Weiss from that game. I think she was a freshman when we played them. And I know that she's really good, and I know that they're a really good team all around. I don't really know anything else about them. So, I just know it's going to be – it's going to be a really good opportunity, like Flan said. And we're all really excited for it, especially to play them at home. The atmosphere here when we were watching that Long Beach State game was insane. It was awesome. Even though it's, like, not going to be for us, I think it's still going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Any further questions? No? Sorry.
Marissa, I know you were one of the only couple people on this team with NCAA tournament experience. Would you kind of just impart on this team before the game? What was your parting message before you guys went out there on the court?
I didn't really say anything to them. I knew everyone was going to have jitters, and I looked at Bree, because Bree was there when we went to the NCAA the first time, but she didn't play in the game because she was redshirting. And I remember I looked at her, and I was like, I don't have those jitters that I remember that I had the first game of the NCAA tournament. And she was like, really? I do. And I knew, that's normal, and, I've been through that. And, there's no way to like not have those the first time. I mean, I was obviously like super excited just because of the opportunity, but I mean, I was just driven to get a win however we had to do it, and that's what we did.
Yeah, for you, Sydney, what was it like just, Jalen, being freshman of the year in the Big East? How do you think she did today, and what did you see from her?
Yeah, I thought she looked really good today. She seemed really poised, and I mean, she didn't seem nervous at all out there, and I thought she was making good plays and good smart plays, and I thought she looked really great out there today.
All right, if there's anything further, congratulations, lady. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
We'll open up the questions for Coach Flanery.
Obviously, Marissa has some big games for you guys, but to score 19 points in the, almost all of those in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, does that just speak to the kind of person who she is and what kind of she wants to rise up, kind of have those games?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's easy to interpret that, but I liked her mentality early. I mean, we've talked to her about shooting with more confidence. I mean, she hasn't shot the ball from the 3 line this year as well as she has in the past, and we've encouraged her to shoot when open. And she's probably, she would agree with this. She's probably the only kid that I yell at in practice for not shooting, and I've done that several times because she, I think shooting is obviously just such a confidence thing, and she's worked on it enough, but in some games she's been less confident than I think she should be. So and she made threes, but she also drove it early, and I think I just thought her footwork was good, her mindset was good. Those things matter, and to her point about just being a little bit less nervous maybe than others, I think that was key for us because and I told him this morning, I said, you know what, if we get off to a great start, Toledo's a really good basketball team. It's not, we're not going to win the game in the first 5 minutes. And I said, if we get off to a poor start, we're a really good basketball team, and we've gotten off to a lot of bad starts, and we've overcome that. So I said, it's not, you're going to have to manage your nerves, but don't let what happens the first 5 to 7 minutes play too much on your mind. And so when you asked earlier what was that huddle like, you're like, okay, shots are going in and we're ahead, but let's not get too hyped in the language of today's teenagers.
On the right here.
Coach, to start the third quarter, Caleb McIntyre came out, scored 6 straight points, I think. Then you guys kind of didn't let him back into it really after that, had a quick run after that. How important was that time in the game and not allowing them to get some confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, they came out in the second half very purposeful about what they were going to look at. They put us in ball screens, and they're really good at making that pocket bounce pass to McIntyre. So they had 2 of those for layups, and then they had a post up where I think she finished over Bree on her right shoulder. And so I think that was, I thought that was a good adjustment by them, and we called a timeout, and we kind of made an adjustment to how we were going to defend the ball screen with Santucci and McIntyre, or at least talked about trying to adjust and also helping a little bit more off Boyd during those ball screen actions. And then I thought Sid hit 2 really big shots, and we, so I think that was key because you could sense that they, I'm sure at halftime they were doubting, that they could get back in the game, but to come out and go 6-0 in a minute and a half, I'm sure their heads were right back up. And so I think that was, our answer in getting that lead back from 16 to 21 in that brief span, I think was huge for us, okay, and for them. And I told the team, during that timeout, I said, if somebody told you that a minute and a half into the third quarter you'd be up 16 before the game, you'd have taken that. So I thought we were poised and made a slight adjustment on our ball screen defense. Well, I said, please don't let one game affect how you feel about your team and the season that you had, because I think I wish we'd have beaten somebody else that bad. I mean, and I've felt that, because I do have the kind of respect, and I really like her, and she's treated me really well, and so I think when you come out of it, both her players and Tricia, I wanted her to know that doesn't. I wanted her to know that I really appreciate her, but also just to kind of not think of this team in this one game, because they won 25 games and made it to the NCAA tournament, and that's a great year and a great credit to her staff and her players. And so that was really my message, was just I hope this doesn't affect that. And she was, absolutely not. I mean, she's been so close to being in the NCAA tournament. To finally get there is great for her and her staff and her program. But yeah.
Did you make a conscious effort maybe try to rest people a little bit, just knowing you have to turn around again on Sunday? I don't think.
Yeah, we did.
Only one player played more than 30.
Yeah, I've got like one assistant coach telling me to rest so and so, and another assistant coach telling me to rest so and so, and then another one, and I'm like, well, you got to put 5 out there. But yeah, I mean, you want to make sure that the game is that you're in position. But yeah, we did that. I mean, that was certainly part of the way I approached the last probably 13 minutes, was to make sure that we didn't extend anybody, and we kind of have an idea who's more likely to be fatigued on Sunday based on playing extended minutes today. Like Marissa can go all day, and Lauren can, and really Sid. But yeah, it was definitely in my mind the last 12 to 13 minutes of the game.
Anything further for Coach?
I know we'll get a chance to talk to you tomorrow, but just seeing the end of that Oregon State Long Beach State game, was that just were you surprised at how close it was there at the end?
Well, I talked to Scott and Jody just briefly, I talked to Scott because I know him a little bit at our meeting yesterday, and he told me how good they were, and I think that's easy to but just watching them, I thought Long Beach did a great job of keeping Oregon State off balance. I thought they had a really good game plan, and sometimes I don't know if Oregon State played tight, but I thought I was really I was really impressed with Long Beach, and but I think in our situation, to be able to see them live and see some things that they maybe struggled with, I think that's as a coach you're looking at film saying, okay, what things can bother them, but to see it live is good too. And to your point earlier about they didn't get to rest their kids in the fourth quarter, but they're going to have a big crowd, and they're 20 years old, so they'll probably be okay from a fatigue standpoint.
One last question.
And also, I know I asked student athletes, but the three-point shooting, they were averaging something like 5.5 a game, and then you could not make one into the fourth quarter. Was that something you guys keyed in on, and just having that contrast of you guys just tearing up the three-point range, and them just kind of going draftless?
Sure. Well, I think I thought we did a good job of paying attention to who we needed to pay attention to, but we made some mistakes, and they didn't pay for, weren't made to pay for them. But I thought we left Bravo Harriet a couple times in the first half where we didn't want, most of the looks that they had, we were comfortable with who was shooting them. And as for us, I mean, for us to get 10 is more than we normally do, but I think it was I think it set us up to score inside the three later because they had to extend out more. I thought they pressured, I thought really from the second quarter on, they pressured more than they did in the first quarter, and then we were able to throw it inside off basket cuts or into the post. And so I think that was making those threes early, I thought, opened up some other things later. But I thought they, because they did guard the three better as the game, really after the first probably 10 or 12 minutes.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Again, Creighton